Hello, August Falta. Welcome to the Lame Heart Christmas special of 2020. I actually wanted to make one of these last year, but we all know how crazy Christmas can get in the weeks leading up to it, and I never managed to actually put it together. And I had plans to talk to these people, to those people, and splice it together, but I never managed to do it. But I managed to do it this year, and I'm so happy to present this now. What this episode is going to include, it's kind of a mishmash. It's like a Christmas special of a show. So I'm going to be including some highlights from the Lame Heart podcast this year. I got to chat to some of my friends, and just there's a seg or two that maybe I wanted to put on the podcast, but it never had a place for it yet. So you're going to get all of that now, and I'm really excited. I've got some of my friends joining me later on, and I'm so excited to talk to them or to listen back to what we were talking about this year. I'll try not to keep these little segs and interludes brief enough as possible so that we can always leap into the actual segments and the content, and it should be about everyone. It's not just about me this episode. It's about that I got to talk to some of my friends, and it should be about them. And we really think this year we've embraced each other as a thing. I think people got less self-centered and are thinking about others, and that's also what Christmas is about. It's about being together, supporting each other, and sending out that love. So I'm really excited for this episode, and we're going to start it off right at the very, very start of all this craziness in March. I did my very first live podcast episode. I never thought that I'd be doing my first live podcast episode on Instagram. I thought it might be me kind of sat on a stage with maybe an audience or something, but me and my friend Pauline got together and we decided to do an Instagram live together, talking about things to do in self-isolation. This was in mid-March. We weren't even a week into lockdown or self-isolation or anything. We had no idea how long this was going to last, but we had so much fun on the Instagram live, and then I released it as an episode. So it was also the first bilingual podcast episode on this show, so there's so much in it that made me really happy, and it was great to talk to her. And what's crazy is I have not seen Pauline in about a year, because she's from Donegal, so she moved back with the pandemic and everything, and obviously I miss seeing all my friends, but I have not seen her since before last Christmas, and we actually discussed that on the full version of the episode, which you can get now on the Lame Heart podcast. But here's a little highlight segment from Lame Heart Biola Pauline.
An céadúil eile that we're going to give you is we're going to give you the lightning round. Agus tá mé iontach sceitimiíocht seo. I'm so excited because we've talked about games that you can play. We've done examples, we've done blind drawing, we've done quizzes. These are just ruddy on toppy that we can tell you to do. Things to learn. Ruddy le denmh é sin ar fad. Gur féile duine suaile tá si toppy, ní ghlachan siad mór an ama, and we're going to give them to you like that. Hence the term lightning round. Could have stopped my mansplaining, Pauline.
Oh, unreal. I feel totally mansplained too.
Okay. So, okay.
Yes, I've seen lightning before.
The Gacrich Griefishy Saga Joe. I wish.
Okay, I have no idea, Jim, so I am as wise to this as you are.
Yeah. Okay, well, when I edit this podcast, I'm going to put lightning round music under this when it's on Spotify and Apple. Janie. Okay. So
you don't even need it. I'll just do it in the background.
So, Fulham Dowsa new at TikTok. You don't know how to say so? Now you can learn. Glan the Humra, you'll get a sense of accomplishment. Watch those home videos. If you are stuck at home with your parents or your sister or your brother, watch the old home movies. Watch your parents' wedding video if you have it. Play a board game. Pull them out. Dust them off.
Fight with your family over said board game.
Fás face soak. Nílam se héiscoil níos fidir na seachtain riamh gan magrúig aige a bhar agus tamadinish caicís isteig. Yeah.
Well, tá mis fás má eyebrows agam, so I feel your pain.
Yeah. Okay, lightning round still going. Planal Sira a rocky to erhu nur creiknin on Fein Einru seo. Learn how to correctly pronounce Dua Lipa's name, aka it's not Dua Lipa, it's a D, not a J. Aishla Podcrela, Dear Cusu Lanish. Hey, listeners, and the Dinner Akliatha. There's loads of Zumba and Dancercise videos on YouTube. Get going, it's fun. August, on Rud Dernach, Glackan sé 5 second, ní do chuid fucking lava. Okay. That was a sprint.
Get in there.
So Kesh fight again. Oh, Roisin. She says, "Oh, shucking, this is going to be controversial, but there's curry le mala spísrach."
Curry le mala spísrach?
Yeah.
Ní mailam sa curry sauce.
No, ain't not.
No, my ass curry sauce fast. Oh my god, I feel so seen. Like, in a holiday, like, how do you not like curry sauce? Like, I love curry. I don't like curry sauce. It tastes weird and fake, and I don't like it.
It's it's because the Instagram live at Gael Gals couple of lohin and someone commented Coddy Chiapan Shiv we show it's bra lumps at A, and I just thought no, like actually roll up, it'll be too wet.
Just soggy, just Sog City.
Soggy, yeah.
Sorry, Sog City.
Yeah, it'll be so wet, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. 3-in-1, I get sweet and sour sauce, and we all know how that went one fine day when I spilled it.
So Pauline, Cod Horla, tell the boys and girls at home.
No, Nyama Ginshin Shkillery. Basically, I burnt myself on some sweet and sour sauce, and it still is on my leg, scarred for life.
I'm sorry, Frishen.
As a person who listens to so much music, goes to so many concerts, presents music shows, has a podcast that's mostly music based, it takes up a lot of my time and a lot of my energy and my attention, and I would not have it any other way. So 2020 really hit me hard in the sense of not being able to see musicians and go to concerts or even tiny gigs with even 10 people in the audience. I didn't get to do any of that. My last gig, I was quite lucky, was at the first couple of days of March when I went to see the 1975 in the 3 Arena, and I had so many more concerts planned and festivals for the rest of the year that have all been either cancelled or rescheduled. And one of the things I'm really looking forward to for next year is to hopefully get to some of them and probably dance and probably cry a little bit here and there too. But Max Zanga of Tebirex, one of my favourite Irish bands, musicians, full stop, he has sent in a little voice note about what it was like to be a musician in 2020, you know, trying to create music. They released their Brackets EP, arguably some of my favourite work that they've done to date. It felt so vulnerable, so fun, and everything, as they usually are. So Max has sent us in a little voice note about COVID, about making music, a bit about missing gigs, and take it away.
Hey, what's up? I'm Max Zanga from Tebirex. How you doing? 2020 has been a kind of whirlwind year in terms of making music and being an artist, and it's kind of sucked in many ways. But in many ways, I think, you know, you just have to kind of make do and keep, you know, try your best, you know. So that's weird, and that's a weird full positive thing. Everything's terrible, everything's horrible. There was no shows, we had no money, and yeah, we're poor, and it sucks to be an artist, but we're alive, and we don't have COVID. Oh, I did have COVID actually, funnily enough. I was in quarantine for 10 days, but I didn't die, so that's a positive, and there you go, you know. So that's it. I think it has been tricky, you know. I think so much of an artist's income comes from kind of touring, doing the festival circuit in the summer, but also it's so important for like kind of building audience and maintaining a relationship with the people who listen to your stuff. And I think it's really cool, the whole kind of podcasting and trying to reach people another way, because a lot of avenues are gone. So yeah, I think it's been a mixed bag and it's been a mixed year, and I'm happy to say goodbye to it. I hope I never have a year like this again in my life ever, because everything is bad and horrible all at once and at the same time. But not this podcast, and not Roar, you know. So yeah, that's it. So I have to say, be well, God bless, I'll bother on you. All right.
Thanks for that, Max. Continuing on this music theme, even with lockdown and a pandemic, I was blown away by the amount of music that was released and the amount of really good music that was released as well during the pandemic. I mean, you've probably seen it with some of the reviews that I did. A lot of my Lame Heart podcast episodes this year were just album reviews. Some of them were on my own, and one of them was with my friend Dean for Lady Gaga's album Chromatica, and it's gone on to become the most listened to episode of the Lame Heart podcast by a very, very long mile. It has twice the amount of listens as the second most played episode. So that was a shock in a way that all of a sudden it got all this attention. But we had a really fun discussion. Some disagreements. We still disagree on some things to this day, but it's very diplomatic. And I wanted to include some of that because it was one of my favourite albums to come out of the year. And some of my favourite songs of the year came on that album. And I just wanted to celebrate the fact that there was such hardship going on in the world, but that some people were able to rise above it. And it's not that it's a bad thing if you couldn't, because people took it very hard, but I was so happy that musicians like Gaga were able to release an album about feeling good and coming out of the darkness and stuff like that. And then that me and Dean were able to say on the morning of release, I was so tired because I'd been up till midnight the night before waiting for the clock to strike midnight to play the album, and then getting up at some ungodly hour to record the episode with him and then get it out as soon as I could. But we had a real good time, and here is one of my favourite segments. It's where we're just gushing over everything to do with the absolute smash standout Rain on Me. The amount of like back and forth that we've gone through over the last few weeks, almost daily, sometimes twice, and maybe I'd say last week when Rain on Me dropped 3 or 4 times in a day to discuss every aspect of this album as it came out. And it has been such a long few weeks waiting, like so long. Like, I mean, even yesterday, all I was doing was just trying to distract myself to let the time go by. But eventually, on the 22nd of May last week, she had Rain on Me with Ariana Grande, and I don't even know what to say.
Oh, that was some of the most like spectacular work she has done in her career. Like I was saying this to people whenever talking about the album, she had really smart choices in the people that she collaborated with on the album. Well, like when we think about the position she was in post A Star Is Born, like this album, in many ways, people were expecting was going to be one of the biggest of her career. And the fact that she was working with Ariana Grande, who I would argue is like pretty much at the top of the totem pole of American pop music, and then Blackpink, in terms of their like dominance over the K-pop scene, like she really hit all areas as much as she could, and I think it's a very like Madonna, Britney Spears moment. The idea of like juggernauts in the sphere working together, it's fantastic, and the song is brilliant. It's a really good song.
But Rain on Me was just so, I really did not expect it to be as good as it is. I knew it was going to be good, but part of me still thought, is this just being made a single because Ariana Grande?
Yeah, I also thought about that as well. I wondered if it was going to be like when Ariana jumped on Good as Hell.
Yeah.
Which I really don't think is that strong. Like she basically comes in for like 10 words and then that's it. And I think her verse on that song really takes away from the feel of the song. So I was worried that the same thing would happen with Rain on Me, but I actually think that the two of them work really, really well. And then when the music video dropped and everyone got to see the visuals and to see them, like I was really worried that the music video wasn't filmed before coronavirus, so I was worried that it was going to be like a social distance, like zoomed in music video, and so the fact that it wasn't, I think was really, really strong. And I think, although I think Stupid Love was a stronger lead single, I think Rain on Me will be the strong, like enduring single. I think it would be the biggest one. And obviously that comes with the territory with Ariana, obviously.
And we don't have figures yet because it's still too soon, but there's a lot of talk of it being number one.
I can't imagine it won't be. I can't imagine it won't be number one in the US and the UK.
Like all the midweeks have been saying it'll be number one, and so many people on my Twitter feed that I didn't even, wouldn't be massive fans or even talk about either of them very much, have been all talking about it all week, and I've been torturing my family with it so much. It's just like, I don't know, I can't even put it into words.
So as you can tell, Rain on Me was a big moment for us that year. We did disagree on some things, but I decided to kind of leave all those bits aside for this Christmas special. Ag bugar ainis chuig Mawanister, a radio rira, Nivni Cronin, Larry Immer, Gav Linohin, lai pisa Mucklor radio rira, Lamehart as am though, Ags Vimer din a comparad ruddy nullug, cared is fair like sock this or that kind of thing. And Chrail made Marquid den Clor, ach hasig Magoni eid a chur an pug Chraila, ach just near van desh. Ags, you know, Rinnemer Taffeder his show Gav Linohin, and I've had them on the hard drive, agus hasig either Kermach Tushkul, they're fun. I mean, just hiring my stocks to studio agus they're like, okay, then we're going to show you in it. Off we go. Agus, just be like, okay, let's go. Near if she keen to carry the Viatorlu, but van me soltas agus shumwajina egg play round Corsi Nulog.
Radio Reba.
An seo sa studio tá méid strachelt le freigra a thuirt roind ceisna nulach sa tá níomh tugtaisteach chun Carolyn agus tuairim a thuirt.
Tá mé agus tá sagam go bhfuil galúir tuairimí agat nachnaon tíimló so ba béle feicáil cé a thuirlín.
Secamid. Iver hain, maidir le siúpadúirt I Málaach Lia.
Yeah.
Shráid Grafton ní Shráid Henry.
Oh, Henry. Yeah, I mean, like, tá Shráid Grafton níos deise le bheith siúlar ach Neil Newlook own, Neil Penny's own, sin ceann mór.
Oh yeah.
Just braham not like Cairtáir. Tá roiint up ar Rod Grafton nach go Rod Henry, dar nói, but braham go bhfuil na siúpaí tá tasta wem fad Rod Henry. Éisian ráta, bí me obair níos congri go Shráid Grafton, so déanam níos much up dúir own, ach dá meach raibh agam Shráid Henry bhecha. Ceirfiú tain?
Is bralam na sailse Shráid Grafton nach bhfuil Shráid Henry ach we're not a nuri if you make so extracted le rudí aimimsú dom glán frontanis nolog agus bhí méid súla bheith timppla Shráid Grafton agus sin trí himpist chonig méid duine ón scóil. So I was like, hey, could stop blah 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 agus dúir sé caiim méid dul trasna go Shráid Henry chun chopródáil Gary talks to me yeah. Fuiar an le bhí gachrad feite agam.
Rod Henry.
Shráid Henry.
There you go.
So bunim antanas agus an marga.
Yes.
Bralam an marga fresh.
Yeah, being like fine scarf like near the stalls being like got being and being stuff good as. So and me being a lay down Rod Grafton Chocolates can all even mother clash in a trino da fire on clash can all on chin but so she's the one he's fire Rod Henry so Tom again version.
Ain't too mission. Module the Beatles, Paul McCartney Wonderful Christmas Time, new John Lennon Happy Christmas.
John, tá gan John Lennon around you, mar tá mé Derek Filta ó Prague agus bhí mé ag the John Lennon wall. Atá like línta le graffiti agus lyricí John Lennon so hosi mé héist an bheith ann hosi mé éiste le golóir John Lennon an tóir an sin in a mask so John Lennon, ceirfiú tain?
Feic sé an dachar dom sin around you. Run of Vsok CD nulagag no fishy. Sheilm Gert now that's what I call Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Agus bhí an Shinestar CD on san earphone so shuffle button nugget so going near beamer gear éisteach le hair on nug but é sin an cake can.
John Lennon who Paul McCartney. John Lennon right.
Sin hánig Paul McCartney níos déanaí freisin agus Tom chun bheith conspóach agus Paul McCartney around you.
Okay. Tá dá cean má, I mean, ní mé bro nach máil an Paul McCartney up near it so.
Agus an sin, mar leis an gran nullag, réalt new angle ar bor.
Réalt.
Ein team látar sin. Ní gá the margos látar.
No, níl sagam céin fá go mé cócínta, is just dás my níos and bhí réalt to go near.
Yeah.
Ach, más féidir raibh eile agus tháinig mé raibh eile chuteach agus tháinig mé lína go raibh go Lordín den seo. Walk to Michael Tree Higgins.
Ní acha.
So, it's agad like tá tea cozy ann.
Yeah.
Like ag groth Michael T. Higgins and Glean Dini Michael T. Higgins there.
Yeah.
So Hussy Dini cur like I'd need like one like Pup Age, new Teddy Biog, the Michael D. Higgins, Airborne Cron in none of the rails, new angle, agus Michael Tree Higgins at that so rails, angle, new Michael Tree Higgins, Michael Tree Higgins.
Ein team like this combination. Is Creelum seen a bit of Kuig Blino hin, dear Heista Gerhorla Miley Cyrus agus Wrecking Ball. Drábata an some picture show de a Garamach on Vish the Wrecking Ball agus Grameen to a listen of Bobble, so it's Wrecking Bobble.
Okay, come on.
If you say spatial like Harry McGriff for she say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Ní curthain sin ar mo crack, but curthain Michael D ar mo cran.
Cá féin le Michael Tree Higgins á.
Níor clú agam ach má tá is a géine tá ceanhain.
Ash Radio Rerá.
Seo cí nogan.
Radio Rerá.
Gur mágad as sin Niamh. Coming up now towards the end of the episode, I invited my friend Roisin from college to have a talk about Christmas, because we all know how this Christmas is going to be different for many, many millions of people worldwide, not just here in Ireland. And I just wanted to, focus on like what kind of things do we love about Christmas and what are we looking forward to and how's Christmas going to go this year. And she's always a good one for a chat and making it super wholesome. So here's me and Roisin talking about our favourite parts of Christmas. The reason why I've brought Roisin on is because she's one of my favourite things about DCU and also is great at talking about all things wholesome, such as Christmas. And that's why I wanted to ask her what her favourite things about Christmas are, because I know it'll give me a smile.
I love talking about Christmas, so anything Christmas related, I'm your gal.
Get straight in at the deep end. What are your couple of your favourite specific things about Christmas?
So I think the first thing about Christmas, it might be a bit cliche, but I always think of family. So I like there's a specific season or day or a couple of weeks, no matter where you are in the world, or I know this year's a bit different, but no matter where you are in the world or what's happening, that's a family time and a time for friends, family, relationships, whatever you want. It's a designated time that you can spend to be thankful for that, which I think is just class in a world that goes so fast. We sometimes forget to slow down. So I think that's really, really good. Onto the more hallmark side of things, Christmas trees. I could look at them all day. My favorite thing is to go for a walk around the place and look at the different lights on the Christmas trees inside the windows, people decorating their trees, different ornaments that you would have gotten over the years. Like I found one yesterday that I got from ESOP in DCU that had a picture of me and Dylan McClory and Clara Mooney on it. And it was really, really fun. It was really, really fun to find it and remember about when we took that photo. So Christmas trees would be my top favorite things. And then you have everything else that comes along with that, the movie nights, the hot chocolate, I love gift giving has to be up there with my favorite thing ever. And I know it sounds very, very cliche to say, I love giving, not getting, but I love giving presents. I would give them all year round. I just love finding something or making something or finding someone to make you something that will just be perfect for this other person. So yeah, there's a collage of my favorite things.
Yeah, when you when you really know that you've hit the nail on the head with something for someone, it's
yes.
And if only we could all afford to be giving giving presents all the time.
Honestly, I used to do the same for birthdays. It'd be someone's 17th birthday, and it would be a person that I wouldn't even be close to, and you wouldn't usually give presents on that occasion. You might give them a card, but I'd always go to the ends of the earth to find something that's really, really funny or really, really sentimental. I'm all for cringy gifts. I don't think anything can be too cringy. So I just love that kind of element of Christmas. Is nothing is not special. If someone picked me a daisy off the side of the road, I'd be like, for me? I just love that it's a time of giving, no matter if that's in present form or in time form. You give your time to someone, you give a present to someone, it doesn't matter. It's just all about giving. I think that's really, really special.
Yeah, and I suppose, how have you been, not even just with gifts, but decoration or any, all forms of preparation, how have you been getting on this year?
I've been good. College kind of took over my life, so before I knew it, it was kind of nearing the end of November, and I realized, if I'm ordering things online, I better get a move on. And I always say I'm sustainable and I'm good at shopping local, but I never followed through with it. So this year I was like, you know what, if I can buy one present from a small Irish business. I often find that small businesses, as hyped up as they are, can sometimes be very, very niche, and it can be hard to find good presents for people that you want. But this year I actually discovered that there is lots of places locally and Irish businesses, that do normal lovely gifts. So I made an effort. I got a good few of my presents from the likes of shops on Etsy from Ireland, or just shops I found through Instagram pages. So yeah, I have a lot of things bought.
there is still some people that I always struggle for. Like I always struggle for my nana, and she always ends up getting a candle, and not even a good candle. So I'd love to find something that like would be a lot more special for that. But I think there's always those people that, you know, the way the tins of biscuits gets passed around, there'll always be those people who get the tins of biscuits. But like, I don't mind. I like that. Any present is a present. As I said, time could be a present. So
exactly. And it's coming up very soon, Christmas. So what kind of traditions or things are you looking forward to in the next couple of weeks?
Yeah, well, all our traditions, I suppose, in my family are kind of changed. My granny passed away this year, so it'll be weird not to have her around. As well, on Christmas Day, usually all the families from around my community, we're all one type community, so we'd all go to one house on Christmas morning for like a drink or a fry or something, and just to kind of start off Christmas with all of us together. And it used to give all the younger ones a chance to like share their presents and see what each other got, and it'd be really fun. But obviously because of COVID, we just didn't think that was the best decision, and because it involves, like, I'd say close to 20 families, you know, coming into the same place. So we're gonna have to change our tradition for this year, but we don't really mind if it's for 1 year and it's keeping people safe. So we might meet up with them maybe outdoors if we can. If we can't, we'll just have to see them again some other time this year. But as far as Christmas dinner goes, again, it would be a weird Christmas for us this year. So we're going up to my cousins. So just our two families are going there, which is really, really nice because we're all kind of getting older and it's nice to meet up with another family. It kind of makes Christmas really, really special because we haven't seen them that much this year. And yeah, so changing traditions this year. Not much to really go off because everything is different, so we don't want to pretend it's the same and be disappointed. So we're just going to change our traditions, like have a good day kind of together, just focus on the more of the littler things. Littler? Is that a word? Simple things. More of the simple.
It is if you say it is, Roisin.
Yeah, so our traditions are kind of changing this year, but yeah, focusing on more of the simple things. One thing we always do though is when we wake up, we have what my dad called pigs and blankets, which is just sausages wrapped in bacon. So that'll be the same. Little things will be the same.
And your top Christmas movie for this year?
You see, it changes every year because I used to love Elf. Elf used to be my absolute favorite, and I still do. But I have watched it so many times. Like, and you know when you say a song isn't your favorite, and then or a song is your favorite, and you listen to it so many times, and then you kind of avoid listening to it so you can go back in a month's time and listen to it like the first time. I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do.
So it used to be Elf, kind of not grown out of it, but don't find it as funny now that I watch it because I know what jokes are coming. Home Alone and Miracle on 34th Street are always two classics that I absolutely love. And then probably in third place would be Christmas with the Cranks. Such a good movie. Such a funny movie.
Well, it sounds absolutely wholesome. Thank you, Roisin, and Nolla Conna to you.
Nolla Conna to you.
And there you have it. That was the Lame Hearth Christmas special for 2020. I will admit, I'm going to be fully honest, there was lots of noise in the room when I wanted to record this outro, so I had to climb under the duvet to block out all the noise. Well, the big thing I want to say is I want to say a huge thank you to everyone who took part in the Lame Heart podcast this year, all the people who came on, took the time to prepare for an episode, who recorded an episode with me, who shared it, who took part, and everyone who listened throughout the year. It meant so much to me when I saw that people wanted to listen to it and people who shared it saying they liked it. I really just started off this podcast as something just for a little bit of fun, just to throw a few bits up like a little scrapbook, and now it's taken on a life of its own in 2020, and I've got something huge on the way in 2021 that I cannot wait to announce. But in the meantime, gur míle maith Nolla Conna láta, Avléon fi washa, and I hope you enjoyed the episode. Bannacht dín an olog láta agus the chlán.